Hi boys and girls, today we're going to finish our painted paper collage, and we're going to take some of that beautiful green paper and we're going to work on stems and leaves for our sunflowers. Most of you got started and you probably have a couple sunflowers, maybe one on your paper. Maybe you haven't finished your sunflowers yet. You can always add more petals, glue those down. You can add centers to your flowers. Go ahead and finish those up first, of course, and then you can take out your paper that you want to use for the stems and the leaves. And if you don't like your green paper, you can always trade yours for one of mine that are in the basket. The first thing that I do is I'm gonna want to draw some stems. And remember, I'm always going to draw on the back of the paper, because that way if I make a mistake, I can erase it. So I'm going to kind of lay this right where I want it. I want to make sure that it's going to be long enough. So I kind of lay my paper there so I know how long I want it. I definitely want to create that curvy stem. And remember, if you want to make a thicker line, you just draw a second line next to the first line, and that will create that long curvy stem. While I have the paper here, I'll go ahead and draw my second one. This one's not going to be as long, but I'll go ahead and just add that one, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and cut those out. And as you're cutting those out, I would grab, keep these pieces that you cut off, keep them over to the side so that you can use those later for the leaves. Remember, you don't have to be perfect cutting on your lines, because we're going to flip this over and we won't see those pencil lines anymore. So I think I want a nice curvy stem. And I'm also going to save this paper because I think I not only have to create some leaves, but not sure what I want to do at the bottom, whether I want to add some grass or what I'm going to do with that. So you want to flip these over, and of course I drew them going the opposite direction, and when I flip them over, they're going the other way. So you might want to change them around. And if you can try to slip your stem underneath the flower so that it comes out from the bottom there. And you can even cross the stems over one another. That might look kind of interesting. This one's glued down pretty well. So in that case, I might have to just cut part of that stem off. So I'll just cut it off kind of in a diagonal, so it's hidden underneath there. I think I'll cross mine over like that. I like that. So once I have them in place, remember when you're using your glue bottle, take off any dry glue off the top, and then just twist the top. Don't twist the whole cap. If you twist this part of the cap, the whole glue cap will come off and the glue will spill it everywhere. You just want to twist just this top part of the cap, just that little one there. And I can even leave it where it is and just kind of flip it upside down. And remember, I'm just going to add like a couple little dots of glue. You don't want to put a ton. You don't want the glue to drip everywhere. Go ahead and put these here, and I'll go ahead and, this one's kind of tucked under, might have to just add a couple little dabs there. All right, once I have my stems in place, and of course this is coming right off the page, so I can trim this piece off, cut it off there. And now I want to add some leaves. Now if you are not sure about those leaf shapes and you think you might want to practice, open up your sketchbook or grab a loose paper from the counter and go ahead and give those leaves a practice. Remember, they were kind of like a curvy triangle. Some kids thought they looked like a spade if you play cards. Some people thought they even looked like a little bit of a heart shape like this. That's okay too. Whatever you want to draw is great. And practice on that larger paper, then set it aside, and then you're going to draw it onto here. So again, I'm going to draw it on the back. You can make them as large as you want. You can make two the same size. You can make some smaller. I might make a smaller one. And you know, their leaves, they're all different. So don't worry if yours don't look perfect. You can always erase and change it, but you can always just redraw over it and change it like this because you're not going to see it once it's glued down. So I'm just going to draw 4 leaves like that.